The record button has been hit,
and now, your midweek motivation
with
Amanda.
And Diana. That's me. You were supposed to do
The other way, so it's DNA. We already
okay.
messed up.
Just say.
And now, your midweek motivation with
Diana.
and Amanda.
Okay, so this week we wanted to talk about a really cool idea that we saw. Last week we had a special guest who came and shared with STLI. His name is Tom Pantazes. And he came to visit and shared some ideas about things that are happening at his university and a lot of really fun things to think about. But the one that we wanted to talk to you about today is this idea of informal videos, like short, informal field videos that you use as an instructor to increase instructor presence, student engagement, and just really capture kind of like in the moment learning opportunities.
Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, I love the idea of just having your phone on you and being able to take those quick in the moment clips that you can send out to students. And the one he talked about, it was a meteorologist, and he was talking about weather, right?
You nailed the pronunciation on that.
Meteorologist, yes. I did. I was practicing
It's
before.
A meteoric rise in
Anyways.
the practice round.
But no, he just was out and there was a storm going on, so he got his phone out and he just started recording. And I loved at first, and Tom made sure to point this out, that he had the camera facing himself so that the students saw him. So there was that instructor presence. So he introduced first, there was an opening. And so it was still organized, right, like a lesson. So he had his opening and introduced them to what he was looking at and seeing. And then he just quickly flipped the camera around. I'm acting like I have to flip it. I don't. It's just a button. It's a button.
Usually a little arrow symbol on your phone.
So he clicked the button, flipped the camera, and showed the students what it was he was seeing in the moment in the clouds. And then the next thing he did is he was doing a lot of signaling, which is what Tom was calling it, the signaling. So he was using his finger and actually pointing to what he was talking about for the students. And then when he was done, he flipped the camera back around and did a little close, bye. That was it. And it was less than 2 minutes, and he had a raw clip, but it was teaching them something. It showed his face. He had an opening. He closed it, and it was relevant. And he quickly uploaded it to YouTube, and then had a video clip that he could easily put into his course for students. And what I thought was really cool about that was that he said he now has this library of content that he can use over and over again, but these quick clips that were just really powerful. I love that idea.
Yes. The other thing Tom talked about is encouraging this idea of just having a formula for yourself when you're creating videos. So for the example that Amanda just shared, your formula might be like a quick hi with my face, how are you today? And then I just wanted to show you something that I saw that is relevant to what we've been talking about in class. Flip the camera around, talk for a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds about whatever it is you're seeing, and then flip the camera back to your face to have a closing. So your formula is opening, here's some things that I'm telling you, closing, and then you're done. Not overthinking it, not worrying about having a ton of like high production value, and then maybe doing some light editing on the back end just to make sure that everything is, smooth and you don't have any extra fluff in the video before you share it with your students. Yeah, I think so. In addition to the formula and then not overthinking of it, I think the big thing is that it's relevant. Maybe timely too. So if you have something that, like a question that's come up in class or something, and you are walking around campus and have one of these little like shower thoughts, like, oh, I know a way that I could explain this better. That might be a time to do one of these quick videos, even if you're not a meteorologist.
Yeah, I'm thinking somebody who's teaching we live in Colonial Williamsburg, so somebody who's teaching history could very quickly be walking around campus and see something that makes them think of like, oh, this is something I was just talking about with my students. Let me quickly take a video of myself talking about it, and you're in that place of the thing you're talking about or the person you were talking about in class. Or biology, like field biology. I actually used to work with a teacher who taught field biology, and she was constantly going outside and taking pictures and videos and sharing them with her students. And it was her just like with her kids somewhere in Virginia, and a lot of times she would build that content in the summertime because she traveled a lot. She would take these videos with her kids on vacation, and then she would put it together in a website to share with her students at the start of the school year. But she'd already built the content all summer, so she had it. And it was just her taking pictures on a vacation, but it was relevant to the content that she was teaching with the students for the rest of the year. And she used it, and I thought that was a great way. You're building a relationship. You're making yourself real to your students, right? Because it's so great to be able to say, like, I'm a real human, and she had her kids in some of the pictures, and she's on a vacation, and then she's a storyteller because she's talking about where she was when she saw these things, and she's bringing herself into the classroom just with these pictures she was taking. And I thought that was such a great way to teach the content, not just to make it relevant, but then also to make connections between herself and the students. So that was really cool.
Yeah, and I love that idea of modeling for your students that this content isn't like some static body of knowledge that we learn while we're sitting in these four walls. Like it goes with you, and here are the different ways you might apply it or think about it.
Really sad if you were learning about field bio in these four walls.
That would be really very limiting.
Check out the plants.
Yeah, I don't think those are real. I think I have one more idea about how professors could use this that's kind of content agnostic, and that's the idea of like a quick weekly, or it doesn't have to be like on a tight schedule like that, but a quick either recap of what I hope that you learned this week, what I hope that you took away from the readings, or like a weekly preview. So here are some key concepts that I want you to have in mind as we go into this week. And if you're somebody who typically sends out an email to your students with reminders about important dates, or letting them know what's coming in the week ahead, that this might be a different way to approach that. That is maybe more engaging and interesting for them to hear about what they're going to be learning about, or what you hope that they are thinking about as you close out a week of learning. So I think the big takeaway, or the consistent idea here, is to not, if you're a person who hasn't really like explored video a lot, that this might be an easy way, a low threshold for entry. That's not really what I want to say. What do I want to say? Like
low stakes?
It's low stakes.
It's low stakes.
You don't have to have any like special expertise.
No, you just have to have a phone.
Yeah.
You just have to have a phone and know your content, which our faculty can very easily pick up a phone and talk about their content. They do it every day. So to just be able to do that in the moment like that, it's an easy way, like you said, it's an easy way to get into thinking about recording yourself and just getting comfortable recording yourself and talking. Because I, for one, anybody on the STLI team knows, I'm very awkward on camera. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable being recorded. I can talk to you about pedagogy all day long, but you turn a camera on and all of a sudden I don't even know where I am or what my name is. So it's just a way to get comfortable, because I think especially with the way we're going with online learning and online coursework, that faculty are going to have to get more comfortable with producing online content, including videos. And so this is just an easy way to start playing with that space of recording yourself. And maybe the first time it's just you're just recording your voice while you're showing something. And then you're flipping the camera around and getting more comfortable with it, or putting it up on a stand and standing in front of it, and easing your way into those short informal clips to a more formal chunked video lecture, that you're putting into your online course.
Yeah, I think it's something that you can try out and see how your students respond to it, and see how you feel about it, and then as you feel, more comfortable, branch out in other directions.
Yeah.
Back to field bio, branching out. Yeah.
Stop. Where's that noise button we need? Wah wah. Thank you.